So, what is a useful index that gives you a better understanding of maybe when the market is about to pull back or when the market is about to rise? What if an index can tell you when fear is being injected into the market? When fear is being injected into the market, markets tend to pull back due to uncertainty. This is the domino effect. A very popular index known as the fear index is called the VIX, which traces the S&P 500. I would encourage you that even after this video, you take a couple of minutes and learn a little bit more about the VIX index and to see if it would be an index worth learning more about. I really hope that you learned something new in this video, and if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing as I upload new videos every single day about the stock market. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. On my left-hand side, I have the VIX index. On my right-hand side, I have QQQ, which is the NASDAQ ETF. I could have put SPY, but again, I just chose to go with QQQ. With that being said, I chose QQQ because I have a focus on trading NASDAQ stocks, right? The S&P 500, again, is something that the VIX follows very closely. And the thing that I really like to do is I've made a video almost every single time that the VIX pulls back to the moving average. The moving average is this green line. I have mine set up at a 200-day moving average. With that being said, the reason I find this to be useful is because every time that we see a pullback here, we actually see the market begin to rise here, and vice versa. Once we begin to show signs of a support on the VIX, and then the VIX begins to rise, we begin to see that the market begins to fall, and vice versa, right? We can see that again. April 7th, we began to find and show signs of a support level here on the VIX. If I can find that same bottom, let me go ahead and find it for you guys. So we should be able to show signs of something peaking for QQQ. And we can see that right around this general area, right? We're showing signs of a resistance, and then we began to sell off. Vice versa with this. This was pretty much the inverse of that, right? We found a support here, and right around the time that the market was selling off here, we began to rise here. When we peaked, what is that, March 11th, we showed signs of a support right around March 11th to March 20th, and then we began to sell off on the following days, right? We began to rise on the following days for QQQ. We began to sell off around, what is that, June 9th. And if we begin to sell off on QQQ, which is the NASDAQ ETF, then we should begin to rise on the VIX. And that's exactly what we did. We peaked at that same resistance range, right around 33.85. What is that? Right around June 24th. And we should have shown signs of a support around that area and began to rise here, right? We've been selling off for pretty much most of July, not all of it, but most of July with the VIX. VIX has been coming down to the moving average, and guess what? We've been rising with QQQ. But what is happening now? Well, we are back at this general support range. And just like I've said before, nothing is 100% accurate all of the time. I just wanted you to understand the correlation on how I use it. By being able to understand this index, what it means and what it does, I can have a better and or make a more informed decision if I want to go in aggressive with my investments or my trade. Let me ask you this, based off of what you learned, if you see that the VIX is oversold, meaning that it's cheap and it's at a potential support level based off of previous patterns right around the moving average, meaning that the VIX could potentially rise, causing the market to potentially drop, does this mean that right now would be the best time to go in super aggressive on my long-term investments or some, aggressive day trades? Maybe not, right? Because if the VIX begins to rise just like it has almost every other time as it touches the moving average, then this means that most of the market should begin to pull on back. But just like we've seen before, anytime that it begins to approach this $33 to around $35 range, again, this can give us a better understanding of when the VIX is overbought, it hits a resistance range, and then it tends to pull on back. So by using the VIX, I can have a better understanding of when market is low, when fear is low, and when fear is high. And I think that's a pretty useful just index to know of, especially if you're investing or trading in the stock market. Now, just like I said again, I want to make sure I repeat this. There is never one indicator or one index that's 100% accurate all of the time. There's always some form of discrepancies, but I feel like the better or more informed that you are, the more informed decision you can make when choosing to take your next trade. And that's what I'm here to do, right? To inform you of what I know and how I'm able to understand when to reduce my position size during uncertain times and maybe when to double down during oversold times in preparation for a potential reversal or a potential sell-off on the overall market. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever that you would like to ask me, you can either comment down below, or I do have a free group chat and you can direct message me personally if it's something that you don't want other people to see, and that's that first link in the description of this video. For those that are going to be asking, what trading platform do I use to trade? I use the Webull trading platform. It's free, and right now they have a promotion that if you sign up using that 5th link in the description, you will automatically earn 6 free stocks just by depositing $1. So again, if you have any questions even about that, feel free to message me via Discord, and that is that 5th link in the description. I do trade live every single day. That is not free. I only do that with my Learn Plan Profit group. If you guys would like the ability to watch me trade live every single day, Monday through Friday at market open, because you would find it of value to be able to have my assistance as you're learning how to trade in the stock market, I would encourage you, just take 2 minutes. Click the 2nd link in the description of this video and learn a little bit more about our Learn Plan Profit team and what it has to offer, and to see if it would be of value for you. I hope that you learned something new. I hope that I earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I upload new videos every single day about the stock market. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.